Thanks, Megan. Much appreciated. So, Mark Crowdace, Deputy CEO and Chief Commercial Officer for MGA Thermal. Looking forward to sharing our journey, plans and an investment opportunity with you today. My contact details will be on the last slide and I'll be around after this session and happy to do a follow-on together. Great. So one of the greatest challenges around decarbonisation is the provision of continuous renewable energy. And continuous renewable energy is the vision for MGA Thermal. That is when the sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing. But what does that vision really mean? It means that there'll be no need to burn fossil fuels again. So being a United Nations aligned, sustainable development goal focused business, we're on a mission to empower renewables. We have a focus on commercialising our large-scale decarbonisation solution in energy storage. Now, energy storage is a hot topic around the world, and we need to acknowledge the existence of some other and competing technologies. So up there we've got batteries, and batteries are good for short duration. So the longest lithium-ion battery installation in Australia has a discharge duration of 2 hours, and the average of all of the large ones is 1.5 hours. Molten salts. Well, they can be dangerous due to some extreme temperatures that they operate, and in particular around shutdown risks. So they're challenged when scaled. Gravity storage. Gravity is a really low energy density solution and is also therefore challenged when scaled. And that leads to hydro. And hydro is proven, works really well, and also has some rather obvious site limitations. And that all leads me to the start point for MGA and what we're all about. Rethinking how we store and dispatch energy. So traditional power generation turns fossil fuels and burns them and generates steam. Steam then turns a turbine and that powers society, or it generates industrial heat from manufacturing. And here's where it starts to pivot. So what if that steam could be green and generated continuously? Because then you would have way more than just another energy storage company. You would have the ability to repower power stations and service industrial markets in a way that the world has never seen before. So let me share a little bit about MGA Thermal in a 2-minute video and our decarbonised energy solution. Do I hit the button? Okay, here we go.
The MGA thermal energy storage system enables a sustainable future, storing renewable energy from hours to days. The MGA TES is charged with decarbonised electricity or heat. This could be renewable energy from solar PV farms, a power purchase agreement, concentrated solar power, wind turbines, or even heat energy from industrial processes. The MGA TES can charge and discharge energy simultaneously, absorbing energy in peak solar periods and exporting energy 24 hours a day. Electricity enters the TES, is converted to heat, and then stored in the MGA blocks. MGA blocks are designed specifically for thermal energy storage. We have significantly higher energy density than traditional thermal energy storage materials, lowering balance of system costs and site footprints. Miscibility gap alloys, or MGA blocks, are created with 2 key materials. Metal alloy particles are dispersed throughout the matrix material. These alloys melt as energy is absorbed, while the outer matrix material remains solid, keeping the molten particles in place and rapidly distributing the heat. The solid to liquid phase change stores the energy, which is then released as the blocks cool and the metal particles solidify. MGA blocks can store and deliver energy at a constant output temperature while remaining outwardly solid, making them ideal for generating process heat and powering a downstream turbine for electricity. MGA blocks are manufactured using readily available materials and are scalable to any size. The energy stored in MGA blocks can be used directly as heat for industrial processes, or converted to electricity through high-temperature steam driving electricity generation systems. So renewable energy can power millions of homes and industrial infrastructure 24/7. Find out more at mgathermal.com.
All right, so let's find out more. Thank you. So a little bit more about how it works. So you're taking input in the form of decarbonised electricity, so that could be solar, wind, a power purchase agreement. We're converting that into heat and we're storing that in the MGA thermal blocks in a highly efficient process, and we're converting, and that gives us the ability to generate clean steam. And this has an overall efficiency, or what's commonly in the industry referred to as a round-trip efficiency, of about 93%. So this is highly efficient. And MGA blocks have the ability to do that 24/7, day in, day out. And that's a really big key difference between short-term storage, such as lithium-ion batteries, and long-duration energy storage, such as MGA thermal. The MGA thermal energy storage system has other unique benefits as well. So it's got the ability to simultaneously charge and discharge or use. That's a reality using our system. Now, so what? What did he just say? What does that mean? And it can take a little bit of a minute to get your head around that. But it means you can be dispatching 24/7, 24 hours a day, and charging, for example, for 8 hours within that day when the sun's shining. And that's a game changer. That's a game changer in the power industrial markets. And most competing technologies can either discharge or charge at once. So the high energy density of the MGA blocks means that it suits most brownfield sites. And it provides a solution to the extremely large, harder to abate industries where we've had some guests through today. So applications in discussions that we're working on are already well into the gigawatt hours across many individual sites for storage and dispatch. So MGA's characteristics lend themselves perfectly to two of the biggest use cases in the world. The first being industrial heat supply. This is a market that is multiple times larger than the domestic market around the world. Think mines, think aluminium bauxite processing, think food, think paper processing at large scale. And then the second use case is repowering power stations. So we have approximately 5 of those on the go now in Australia, including one in the public domain, being AGL at Torrens Island B in South Australia, which is a 200 megawatt electric per hour repowering site that we're working through. And these bring enormous potential to MGA thermal in the billions, if not trillions, but we'll call it billions. So this is increasingly reflected in our own pipeline of opportunities and the blue chip nature of the clients that we're working through, or inquiries that we're working through. So the mix includes the asset owners, the energy producers, and typically they're large engineering firms. And we have well over 2 billion in pipeline, and it's growing. Now the whole industry that we're working in and the scale that we're working at and aiming at is a very show me, don't tell me industry. So we're building our own demonstration unit. That's had support from Shell globally and also ARENA, and we're very thankful for both of those. And that'll be operational mid-2023. So that's going to be operational short term. The MGA block manufacturing roadmap is clear, as is our path to profitability. The first factory shown above is now in commissioning stage. Even that photo is probably 3 weeks ago, and it's moved on a lot since then. And that's in Tomago, near Newcastle in New South Wales. And the potential impact of this will be to the benefit of society globally. The blocks will abate significant CO2 over their lifespan. In fact, these numbers are pretty conservative. So in summary, MGA is on the cusp of a breakthrough. We're aiming for 5-year revenue of over 500 million. We're aiming to be profitable and self-sustaining, so moving beyond needing to raise is a firm goal. So what's the investment? What's required for MGA to significantly scale now? Well, we'll be moving to a B round later this year, and that will fund a significant scale up for us to deliver on this. We're expecting to be seeking at least 100 million, subject to final board approval. That's Australian dollars. And we're also at the back end of a small, well-priced pre-B round to sustain us through that follow-on raise. We're looking for circa $10 million. That's open and well-priced. Now, our business isn't just about blocks. We are a deep tech-focused business. We have 6 PhDs full-time in-house as an example of that. But we are supported by a high-impact board and a really experienced leadership team. And we're on the cusp of a massive breakthrough. And that breakthrough will see MGA Thermal as an Australian deep tech manufacturing, decarbonisation, export play. So we welcome your support. Thank some of our investors. I see Albert's here, Main Sequence Ventures, High Net Worth over on the back. Patrick, thank you. And for your investment and your support so far. And open it up, Megan, to Q&A.
Absolutely. We've got time for one question. Oh, yes, down the front. That was quick. Nobody else was quick as you, so I think it's fine. Go.
I should have said Alex Swanson from Endeavour Environmental. It seems with the loss in efficiency of getting from steam through to electricity through a turbine, that the use of this technology for electricity is not as well placed as the use of it for process heat. And I was just interested in that because it seems you'd almost need to double your renewable supply to get the same electricity output through a steam turbine. It seems wasteful.
Yeah, it depends what you're benchmarking it against. For example, if you look at the round trip efficiency of coal or gas, it's not really that different. Hydrogen potentially as well. But for the steam use case, it's a very obvious 93% type play. For the pure play power, it actually can lift the efficiency of the power station because the flue gas heat gets recirculated. So you're potentially seeing a 5% lift in the efficiency of current power stations by using this type of technology and recirculating or reclaiming that heat. But where you get a supercharged kick, for example, at your big mining sites or remote sites, is where you head down the path of saying, well, actually, I need steam and I need decarbonised electricity for my site. And you use both the steam, you use the facility to generate the steam, like a cogen, and the electricity, because then your round trip efficiency is back into the 90s, which people didn't realise was going to happen. In fact, we didn't until recently either.
Yeah, I was thinking more if the quantity of energy coming out of the renewable supply versus what you get at the other end of the steam turbine through the generator, there's roughly 30% output from that electricity. So if you were to use that renewable electricity directly, obviously it's intermittent and you've got to look into batteries and whatever. It just seems like there's a significant energy loss there, whereas from a process heat perspective, it's almost one for one from the energy you put in from the renewables. So
yeah, but they're just different use cases with different efficiency levels.
Yeah. But it means much larger installation of renewable from an energy perspective.
Means a larger energy storage system. Yeah, you'll need to...
We might take that one into the break, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'd really like to thank Sarah, Tom and Mark from 3 incredible Australian startups that are just having massive amounts of growth. Thank you all very much for joining us today.
Thank you.